Okay, so today we're basically going to be comparing these two revolvers here. They're both a BB gun. One's airsoft and one is a metal BB. Now, there's a big argument going on basically of the difference between a BB and airsoft. And pretty much they're both BBs, okay? That's where they are the same. However, BB gets its name because it's been around longer, while the airsoft, it's a different, I guess, medium or whatever, so they gave it a different name called airsoft. But they're the exact same thing, except for airsoft is rated safe to shoot at people, like paintball, as the BB is considered not safe. This will hurt a lot more. That's the difference. It's a heavier projectile. It's smaller in size, but it's quite often going faster, and it's a lot harder and actually weighs more. So it's going to do more damage. Now, these aren't rated for hunting. You don't use them for pest control either. They're just strictly target practice. But airsoft is for a sport. You shoot at people or do target practice. So that's where they're different. I'm sure airsoft you could use for pest deterrent, like shooting deer in your garden. I think that would be okay. I would not recommend doing it with BB guns or pellet guns, however, because that then becomes animal molestation. Alright, so I'll get into the two guns just quickly. One's a wingun, that's my airsoft pistol. It's a snub nose, more or less. I consider a snub nose. Quite often snub noses can be even shorter, but that's what I would call a snub nose, and I like it for combat because it's a quicker draw. You've got a longer pull to get out of the holster with the 6-inch barrel. However, accuracy is the trade-off. This is a quicker draw, however, this will be a more accurate pistol because you have a longer barrel. So you need to choose what you want to do with it, and what you're going to use it for to maybe decide exactly what kind you want. Now this holster does actually fit both. Of course it's going to give me problems right now because I'm on video. And I do want to get a little bit longer holster anyway, one that would give the full cover. But this holster was rated for a 4-inch to 6-inch barrel. And as you can see, it may want to snag on your sight trying to pull out. So that's one issue with the longer pull. Or longer barrel, I should say. Don't mistake when I say longer pull as length of pull. I'm just talking about pulling it out of your holster. So here we go, and we've got this one, which is a lot shorter, and it comes out like instant. So you just have to do that, and then it's out of the holster. If this was on my hip, let's say, and I could shoot almost right from there. As to this one, where it's got to come all the way out, and then it's a lift. So you see what I mean? It's a lot more effort to pull a longer barrel out for a quick draw scenario. But when it comes to accuracy, that's probably going to do you better. So there you go. I'm going to go into, I guess, the loading of these. They basically load the same way. One, spring out the cylinder, like so. You can push that and dump the shells into your hand. Now, so when you put them into the speed loader, these are two different speed loaders. I don't want to mix up my shells either, so I'm going to do the airsoft first, and then I will show you the BB gun after. And then we will shoot them both. So, they just drop in, you push the quick starter, and it locks them in place. Now is where we take our 28 gram BB. It's actually a 0.28 gram. When I say 2.8, usually it's 0.28. It's like when you say 22, it's actually 0.22, but people just get common to say it. They get lazy with forgetting out the decimal. I had a commenter, I'm not even going to say his name, it's not worth it, but he was just a real nitpicker, just going on about it. I think I might have said FPS instead of, or I might have said PSI instead of FPS. Anyway, no, and it said I lost all credibility because of that. Well, I say, fuck you, buddy, you're a fucking idiot. So, anyway, I just told him basically he was nitpicking to walk on and get the fuck out of there. So, yeah, I'll block him if he continues. But anyways, this just slips in. So, very quick to load once you have your speed loader loaded. And I don't know if you noticed what I was doing is with the rounds, I'm going to go ahead and load these up now. So I have an airsoft gun ready to load. I just dropped my round. I did a video on this gun before. I dropped the round and one of the chickens ran off with it. I lost it for 2 months. And I finally found it. So, and if you drop your BBs on the ground, it's best not to pick them up and use them. Just leave them there. They're not worth wrecking your gun for what you pay for them. You could have a little piece of dirt that catches on with static or whatever, and you could scratch out your barrel and over time cause problems with accuracy. So just give your gun longer life. So there, just drop the BBs into the ends of the shell, and what happens here is the air pushes through there, pushing it out, sending it out your cylinder into the barrel and down. Whoops. Just lock that into place. So you just push it in and twist, and they lock into place. So I'm going to do this one just because it's the exact same thing, but we're doing BBs. I'll just load up these shells, put them in the speed loader. Now this speed loader and this speed loader, even though these shells are so damn close, they're same diameter and everything, they don't hold. This speed holder won't hold these shells. This speed loader won't hold these shells. Kind of interesting. But however, this is the same diameter, so, and they do fit. I've tried that. I just don't shoot, of course, BBs out in an airsoft gun. You'll damage your barrel, and if you do it vice versa, the airsoft isn't big enough to go through the BB gun because they're a different caliber. The airsoft gun is a 6mm BB, while the BB gun is a .177 BB, or sorry, it's .117 BB. So yeah, it's like 11.7. Very tiny. So there they are. I just put them in just all the same. Now is when you would want to dump these in if you wanted, but these aren't charged with CO2 yet. Oh, that's funny. Actually, this one's got a tiny little bit of CO2. I forgot to discharge it. I meant to do that before the video. Okay. So we have this cap and this empty cavity. This is the BB gun. Drop a CO2 canister in, and you want to thread this thing shut. And you don't want to do it too tight, or you will basically get this thing stuck in there. This metal piece will break off the plastic, and it will not. You'll never get it back out. So, had problems with a lot of my magazines that way, so I just found out now that you have to just do it lightly. Just listen. That's it. You don't crank it. If you crank it, you'll wreck it. So that's that. We got CO2. So that guy's ready to shoot. We're going to load that one, but we'll load this one too. This is a bit different. It has a fold out. I like this better because you don't need your Allen tool for this one. You just load that in. Now if you want, airsoft especially, because it does get some lubricant in here, your BBs will travel better. I like to put a little drop of this oil on the end of my CO2 canister. You can do this for BBs as well. The reason I didn't do it for that last one is I had just done that on that first shot. And if you over lube, you'll end up with problems as well. So I say after 1,000 shots, you do what I just did. So there you go. Now we are technically loaded. I'm going to drop those out. So the gun is unloaded of BBs or shells. And now, fire one shot. I just put a little bit of that grease down my barrel. Now it's lubed. So when these BBs slide down the barrel, they'll have more lubricant. So I'll just load these in. You can also load this way, which is just singular. Of course, it's not as fast as speed loading. Oops, I just dropped, and that often happens. You'll drop your rounds, and then slide that into place. So that guy's loaded. I just like to spin it. I just do that because it's fun. You don't have to do that. And there, Whoops. And there. This guy's brand new, so it's still got some breaking in to do. I just got this last week. So, we got both guns that are loaded, ready to go. I have technically 12 shots for the airsoft, and I have 6 shots for the BB until I get more rounds and maybe a couple more speed loaders and things like that. So I'm going to do a little demo. I'm going to put the holster on, I guess, and I'll just do a quick little target practice to show you the difference in how they shoot. So we'll get on that. Alright, hey guys, so I'm in the mud here. Got this target, and I'll do a couple on the pans just for sound effect. Okay, I'm going to stand about here. Now, realistically, airsoft, I know you would probably not be this close to your opponent. This is just for a demonstration purpose. So, as you can see, with the quick draw, it's just like that, with the short muzzle. So it's quite quick. It's like so. See? Hit him twice, and it was like that. Or, pull out. Like so. I got 2 shots left. One for the face. One for the face. I missed 1 shot. But, so you can see, the short muzzle, or the muzzle I quite like. It's fast, but you're going to have a little bit less with accuracy. So, put in 2 to the gut, 1 to the chin, face. So, there you go, and it's empty. So that was just 12 shots, just like that. And I don't know, I really like it. It's quite fun. I'm just going to quickly go and grab the other one and show you. So that there was airsoft. Now this is BB. As you can see, it's a lot longer pull. To get it out, I have to, and then it's kind of funny try to get it back in. There we go. So, hit him twice. Chin, face, chin. I think that was 6 right there. Yeah. So, I'll load this up one more time, and I will load up the airsoft gun, and I'll give you guys a first-person view of what it's like to shoot these things. Okay, so this is the airsoft. 0.6 millimeter, sorry. 0.28 grams. Go for the can now. Whoops. Just missed. We're going to do the speed load. Go for that face. There. So there you go. You can totally see the BB. It is slow. It's going about 300 feet per second. We're going for the bell. Just gotta line that up. Line up that. Oh shit. Anyway, it's really hard shooting off the camera like that. Definitely better without the camera in my way. But there you go. I was just grazed under the bell that time. So, but yeah, it's going a lot faster than the airsoft, so that's the difference. But still quite low power. It's nothing like shooting the real deal. But lots of fun to keep your target practice up, and mostly for airsoft. I think the BBs are cheaper in ammunition, so they're a really great tool to train with. And they fly very similar to airsoft, that it'll keep your aim going, and then you can always use your airsoft for battles. But if you want to train with your airsoft, I think that's cool too. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You're probably better off training with your airsoft gun if you can afford the ammo. So there you go. And I know airsoft ammo is cheap, but it's when you're shooting thousands of rounds just at a target, it does add up as to an airsoft game where it'll last you many, many, many games. So that's all. I get why some people are going to say, well, it's expensive. Well, of course it is. So, anyways, yeah, I quite enjoy these. So, in my opinion, I like the shorter one a little bit better, but they're both a lot of fun. I'm going to finish this by emptying these 2 off. There you go. Alright guys, so I just forgot to mention one last thing, and the one thing about these two is BB guns, for instance, have no hop-up for one thing, so don't worry about it when I'm talking about that. But for the airsoft gun, usually there's a thing called a hop-up. It's a little rubber ball or a contact point that the BB will hit, and it's adjustable, that will send the ball into a slight backspin, so it'll travel further. Kind of like a golf ball to some degree, but they're not dimpled like a golf ball is. But it's a very similar principle. So what's happening is there's often a hop-up that creates more accuracy with the airsoft guns, and a lot of pistols have them, especially the blowback slide guns and all. I will say this one does not have it. So something to keep in mind, you're stuck with the way it shoots unless you get in there and do your own tooling on it. But as it comes, when you buy it, there is no hop-up or nothing, so it shoots the way it is. So you need to find the right weight of BB to shoot. I find summertime when it's really hot out to use a 30-gram BB. It's a little bit heavier because, of course, when it's really hot out, you got more expansion with your CO2. And when you have a lighter ball, it makes that thing want to fly radically. So use a 30-gram BB in the summertime when it's really hot out. That's if it's like 25 degrees or warmer. 30-gram BB is great. And when I say 30-gram, I'm saying 0.30 gram. Okay, don't muddle my words around and think I'm saying 30 grams. All the airsofter community knows what I'm talking about. They know there's no such thing as a 30-gram BB unless you got a cannonball. So okay, so yeah, it's 0.30, and but this does not have any hop-up. So that's one, I guess, downside to this gun. It's really for short range. Use it as a side, almost like a backup even, or just as a sidearm. But 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, it's great. Anything further, it's sort of hit or miss. It depends. It depends on how good you are. Me, I have a problem with pistols when I shoot. I get a lot of muzzle sway. It's the way I'm pulling the trigger. I'm used to rifles. It's the way I was brought up. So I'm working on it. So anyways, that's that. So I think I've said everything that I really have to say about these and sort of showed them off. So yeah, if you're interested in getting them, I definitely recommend them. I think they're cool. So there you go. Oh, and we'll say one more thing, because of course you can't tell this by just seeing it on video. They are all metal with a few little plastic components like the rubberized plastic grips. But other than that, they're all metal construction and they're real weight. So they're definitely a great simulation to firearm training.